Greetings and welcome to the Cyprus Animation Podcast, third act finale. It's your host, Stelana Kliris, and today we are going to talk with a very special guest, not about the animation industry, but the media and film industry as a whole. Today with us we have director, screenwriter, producer, Stelana Kliris. You might know her from some films like Committed and more recently released on Netflix, Find Me Falling, being the #1 film in the world when released, and also being the top 10 film in the world for the next 2 weeks to follow that. So I think she has a few very good insights to say to us about the industry as a whole. She will talk to us about that, her experience making the film. She will also give some advice from young media and film professionals trying to get into the industry, what's the most important traits for that to happen, and also will talk to us about her new film, Apart From Her, releasing soon after the production is done of the movie itself. Now, without further ado, let's jump to our online conducted interview with director Stelana Kliris. Hi, Stelana. How are you?
Hi, Saba. Very good. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you with all the... It's been a month since the release of the film. A month and one
Yes,
day, right?
exactly. Yes. Unreal.
Does it feel like a month has passed since the release of it?
No, it feels like I think 10 years or something.
Oh
Yeah,
my
so
God.
much has happened. Yeah, just a lot
Oh
has happened.
man.
Like all good things, but it's been like maybe the most intense, and busy period of my life in a
It,
good way. But
is it
yeah, it
something
feels
you
a
can talk
lot.
about? Like any of those things?
Yeah. No, just of course, yeah, just in general, like the release of the film and how wonderful it was. I got to go with my family, my husband and my little 4-year-old daughter to the States, and we had like a small screening there with the lead cast with Harry and Agni and Ali and the producers, and that was really wonderful. And then just the wonderful surprise success of the film. And then on the back of that, my next project got greenlit. So we're in pre-production now to shoot the next film in November in Cyprus, which is a real passion project of mine. So it's been really, really busy and intense, but all good things. Yeah.
Nice. You say surprise success of the film. I'm one of the very faithful ones from months ago when I see you all around in workshops and all that. I said trending #1 in Cyprus. And I say that to you and I'm like, did you believe me when I said you would do that and then it would be for a month? And I still see it like top 5, but like it's there still.
Yeah, it's
Like
still
it's
still in the
insane.
top 10 in Cyprus. Yeah. So I've actually, I mean, I think it was I've always been kind of quietly confident of the film. It's the kind of
Let's
movie I
go.
like,
Yeah.
obviously. That's why I made it and I obviously hoped it would do well, but I thought it would, but you never know.
Yeah.
Um yeah, I don't know. I don't know if the rest of the team was as confident or not because it was a small film and so on.
Hmm.
And especially compared to the other titles on Netflix and on the other streaming services. Um, what was I going to say? But yeah, I was hopeful and I thought it would do well. But I have to say, I mean, yeah, like it surpassed even that, like going to #1 so quickly and also keeping it for 2 weeks. Like that's a big deal in the streaming world. So happy, yeah.
Any compliment or congratulations, I might say, is significant to the success of this film, in my opinion.
It's all great. It's all great.
It's
Yeah.
so great. It's not
Yeah.
only like it's successful, it's also original IP, by the way, which is a very important thing,
I know, right?
right?
Not a sequel or part of a franchise or existing
Yeah,
IP. And maybe that's what people responded to. Like, this is the kind of film I would like to watch. And I think also life has become, it's very stressful and there are a lot of horrible things happening in the world. So people can use a small escape of lightness and charm and a little optimism. So I think that's what they
absolutely.
responded to. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think people are just excited to see Cyprus on the screen, certainly like locally in the diaspora. I had an amazing feedback from that side. It was lovely.
As a filmmaker myself, that's located in Cyprus, this means more to me than you can imagine.
Wow.
There's a few moments in the film that I went like very audibly, yes. You want to guess which two of them are? One of them was the food, the food. Uh,
Yeah.
I can't emphasize enough how long I wanted food to be mentioned in a Cypriot film.
If you're gonna live in Cyprus, you have to learn to eat and drink like a Cypriot.
Are they gonna stop bringing us food?
No.
Like for like years. I'm like, I see like films like The Godfather, right? And like they always like talk while they eat. They show the Italian culture as they eat, and they talk, and they're so charming. And I love that I saw this in Cyprus because food is also very important in Cyprus. And so yeah, that made me very happy. Yeah.
Nice. Leave the gun, take the cannoli, yeah?
Leave the gun. Take the cannoli.
Yes.
And what was the second?
The second was a scene that I think you also found very cathartic writing, which was the scene when Ali said, I'm trying not to butcher the line. So I think Harry said, well, you don't speak with an accent. And then she says,
yes.
not all Cypriot people speak with an accent. And I know, and you're from here also, and you don't speak with a Cypriot accent. I'm like, oh, was that nice to write and all that?
Yeah. Look, we also, I mean, we did it a little bit to justify, you know, Ali's accent, but it is a truth. We're very diverse here in Cyprus, you know, that you can hear a lot of accents, even though you are whatever, fully Cypriot or half Cypriot, or you live here, but we have a nice diversity in Cyprus. So I thought it was a nice thing to add as part of our identity and part of introducing the world to Cyprus, you know?
It was, yeah. So yeah, those were the two scenes I found like, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And two scenes that bursted out laughing. There's another two scenes. Both were hospital scenes, by any means.
All right.
Yeah. One was the balloon scene, and the other one was the one that they all went into
with the family.
Yeah, with the family, and that scene, like, that made me like burst out laughing, which is very hard for me to do, by the way. But yeah.
No, thank you. That's good to hear. Yeah, that's an old family joke. The balloon scene, which is one of my favorite shots. You mean where they're fighting and he bends down with the balloon?
Oh, you brought this balloon.
So that happened by accident. Yeah, so that happened by accident. I always wanted the smiley face balloon, and originally Agni, you know, who plays Sia, is just supposed to be hitting him with the flowers, you know, and you know, and she just keeps bashing the flowers, and then she gives them back to him, and then Agni ended up throwing them down on the floor in the scene, just kind of impromptu. So in the scene, Harry had to bend down to pick them up, and as he bends down, the balloon ended up in the shot. And so that was, I mean, we ended up doing it again just like that, but it was a completely natural reaction where suddenly the smiley face landed in front of Agni, and it was a very happy accident, you know, one of those that happen in film. And it's one of my favorite shots. So I was like, oh my God, I love that. Keep throwing them down on the floor. Let's do it again. And that's how we got that shot.
Nice. Did you have backup flowers, or it was the same thing and was like withered every time?
No, we had a couple of bouquets.
Nice. Okay, good. Good.
She mangled them.
That's I'm also like in the filmmaker's mindset, so like I get that. That's 100%. Okay, nice. So you told me about another project. What's this other? I think it's a drama, right? That you're dealing with.
Yeah, so it's something a little different. So obviously, I mean, I love my rom-coms and feel-good films, but this is my passion project. It's something I've been working on about as long as Find Me Falling. I also started writing it around 2015, 2014. And it's called Apart From Her. It's a drama. It's set in the 70s between Cyprus and South Africa. And it's inspired by my parents' stories, like the people who left Cyprus during the war and immigrated to South Africa, which I always thought, I mean, I've said this before, but I've always found it very interesting that people left one divided country for another, because South Africa was in the middle of apartheid then. And this is the next story, and we start shooting in November in Cyprus. We're actually going to shoot the whole thing here. It's a very intimate story. It's a lot of interior, so it's possible to cheat Cyprus for South Africa. Still a challenge, but we're on it. So quite excited and stressed and busy and trying to put that together at the moment.
As we all are, we feel you for this.
Yeah.
You said it's a drama. I mean, I feel like dramas also need some levels of elements of comedy sometimes, not gonna be focused on it, but like have
Yes,
some like just for humanizing the characters. Is that gonna
of
be a thing of
course.
it?
No, always would say, look,
Yeah.
and it's primarily a love story again.
Mm,
I always have the element of romance, and there are definitely moments of lightness in between because you need that relief when you're watching a drama. You can't have it be intense the whole way through. There are little
absolutely.
moments of
Hmm.
lightness, maybe not outright comedy, but lightness here and there. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. So
Do you think comedy is important in every genre, like to add it everywhere, like even in horror, for example, just to humanize the characters?
maybe. I mean, there are different ways to humanize characters. I
Hmm.
think comedy is the hardest thing to do. It's
Yes.
harder to make people laugh than to make them do anything
Mm.
else, ironically. And I think it's something we crave and we want. Maybe it doesn't have a place everywhere. I mean,
Ah.
you don't necessarily see it or need it maybe in thrillers or horrors or I don't
Mm.
know.
Mm.
But if managed well and if it's placed well, I
Ah.
mean, you can always find a place for it. It's
Okay.
specific, I guess, to every film. Yeah,
Absolutely.
you might end up losing your tone, and because I've often seen that where yes, there's a scene that could be great for comedy, but then it messes up the tone of the rest of the film. Like sometimes there isn't a place for it, or it has to be
Mm.
a certain kind of comedy to match that specific film. Like
I
a
get
heavy
that.
drama, you don't
Mm.
want to throw in slapstick comedy,
Well,
you
no, yeah.
more
I'm
subtle. I
mostly
mean, that's an
talk.
extreme example, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean. But I've seen strange combinations like that, and then you're not sure because you also want to let the audience know what kind of film they're following, right? And I often
Yes.
and that's sometimes you find that there isn't a set tone for a film. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, yeah. I'm thinking of like films like Jordan Peele's like films. Have you seen any of them? Like the horror films that Jordan Peele did?
So that like Get Out,
Yeah,
yeah,
like Get Out. He was a
yeah.
comedian before that, and he was incorporating like
That's right.
comedy into
But you
that.
see, I think if you can conquer comedy, I think you can almost take on any other genre. So I'm not
Mm.
a big horror person, but I loved Get Out. I thought that was
Yes.
brilliant, and I'm so
Same.
glad it got Oscar for Best Screenplay. I
Same.
thought that was genius. But then, yeah, I haven't seen the others. I can't watch horror.
Yeah.
So,
No, I'm the
um,
same way. I don't like horror that much. Maybe if it's psychological, but like horror in the gore side, nah, I'm not even a fan of it.
yeah.
I'm also a bigger fan of like rom-coms and comedies, so I'm with you on that.
Yay.
Yay! We need more people in this country, actually. I think that's I
Well,
think more people
there's
will
an
need to get
open
into
door
it.
now. Yeah.
Yes, you open a big door. I hope people use
I
that
hope so.
to,
I hope so.
yeah.
I hope it shows like there was, I didn't have any kind of sort of like advantage that other people didn't have, just very, very simply worked hard for it and it came. So I hope that's a positive message to anybody else trying to make movies because it's a hard profession, but it's possible.
I've been
Yeah.
in the filmmaking side of Cyprus for the last 7 to 8 years, I think. And
Okay.
I'm very understanding of what you're coming from, and I know how hard someone is to try to get anything done in this country. So
Yeah.
yeah, I believe you tried really hard, and this being an accomplishment made me the happiest person ever as well. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, good
Thanks.
job.
Thank you. Thank you.
No
No,
problem.
I think everything is, I think you use what you have and you can sort of take advantage of like yes, Cyprus is small, but that means you can network a lot faster and you can get to
Yes.
know people faster and have more access to things. And I will say like it's a little bit of a plug, but like we have the Cyprus Deputy Ministry of Culture that
Mm,
funded this film, it's funded my past films, and it's been
mm.
a huge help to getting me to where I am.
100%.
It's they had the film commission with their incentives, which was another very big chunk of the film's financing. And I like to mention this because it's information is your greatest resource in anything, but especially filmmaking, just to know that there are these great financing options available to you in Cyprus, which are actually very generous in comparison to many other European countries. And yes, and then obviously I had my wonderful US co-producers, Jupiter Peak Productions, and so on. I always like to mention them because it's without them the film wouldn't have happened. But also just for filmmakers in general, we have these two great funding bodies here in Cyprus. And if you know how to work within the system, yeah, you can make anything happen.
Absolutely. Part of the reason why we did this podcast was to bring light to some of these things, to have a public source of information, and bringing you that probably knows is the best in this country is probably like a very good, like positive, like message to everyone. So yeah, anything you say is very insightful. So just
Okay, good. Happy to help, yeah.
yeah. Speaking of networking, I think it's something that people can do is go and be extras in films. That's a very good way to network with people.
Like yourself.
Like myself.
We've
That's
mentioned
where I
that you
brought that
were
up.
in the film, very
I was in the
clearly in the
film.
film.
Yes. And I was like, let me tell you a story, actually. Okay. So I was in the movie. I came like in a day. I was in a beautiful little scene in a bar that I then learned that it was the biggest scene in the film. And I was like, that's cool. And then I saw it. And I'm like, I kept saying to like family and friends, hey guys, go see me. My shoulder might be showing in it. Ha ha ha. You know? Because that's what I thought. I was like, okay, I know where the shot was. Maybe my shoulder's in the shot. And then I see the film. And I have a visible facial shot for like
Totally. You're very
51 seconds. I counted it. Right? So I was like, oh my God.
Funny.
And then I hear the views of it. And like, how many views did it get in a month? Like 50 million?
So the last time I checked, we were on about 36 million, but that's accounts, right? So I don't know how many people that is. That was in the first like 3 weeks. I don't know where it is now. We're actually having a meeting this week with Netflix to see what our views are. So yeah, I'm going to get a report on Thursday, I think. Yeah.
That report is gonna.
Yeah. No,
That's
it's amazing. Yeah, so you're out there now forever.
yeah, credits in the Netflix thing. Yeah, finally.
That's right.
Yay for everyone. For everyone. Like half the country was in your film also. So yeah, congratulations to all of them.
It was a big cast and crew. I didn't realize, because obviously I was, I lost track of the numbers, and we had a premiere in Cyprus for the cast and crew, the people who were directly involved in the film. And when I added up, it was 160 people, more than 160 people, which was insane. And oh my gosh, yeah, I hope, I mean, I have like nightmares that some people were left out, which might have happened, but we had very limited, space in the theater. There were only 200 seats, and they were all full, because obviously aside from cast and crew, we had our ministry representatives. But from that, just the main crew and cast were over 160 people, which for Cyprus, for abroad, maybe that's not such a big number, but for here, that's huge. So yeah.
Speaking for not abroad being a big number, you still like top the charts internationally.
I know.
That's crazy. Like I go to IMDb, see top 10 most popular films. I see sequels to huge films. I see stuff like have like a budget of 300 million like there. And then I see Find Me Falling right there.
I know.
That's like mind-blowing in my eyes. Right?
Yeah. Totally. I mean, I hope it's like it's very encouraging to see that audiences just want, like, I don't know, nice stories, or like things told with heart, or human stories. Like, I mean, I love the big popcorn movies as well, but I really miss just seeing simple human stories on the screen. Like, we don't have a lot of those anymore. And I hope this was a little bit of I don't know, I hope it inspires a bit of a comeback somehow, or keeps them coming.
I really hope it does. It was a very nice film to watch.
Thank you.
Yeah, I feel a lot of people really like that film. Like, I'm not just speaking on my own. Like, there's millions, literally. Like,
yeah. No, the response was really wonderful. We had so many like lovely messages, and it was overwhelming. I mean, I've obviously never experienced anything like it. So
true.
Thank you. Anybody who's watching, thank you so much. Like myself, the whole team, everyone, the cast, the crew, Harry, our producers, like we were in awe, like what is happening, you know?
Yeah.
It was amazing. Really, really amazing.
Harry is
Yeah.
also one of the nicest people I've ever met by a difference.
So nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely human being.
The first 3 seconds of meeting him, he told me a compliment, which was like insane. I've never had that happen before. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's a reason he's Harry Connick Jr., yeah?
Yeah. He's Harry Connick Jr. Like he's the sweetest human being alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Nice.
great. No, he was just a dream to work with. I mean, he was lovely to
Absolutely.
everyone. The experience you had is really the experience everybody had on set. He was just kind and generous to every single person, no matter what your position was on set,
Yes.
you know, whether he spent a lot of time or little with you. He's just very kind to everyone. And we've established a really great relationship, and I was so happy to see him again in New York. I mean,
Yeah.
he's just, yeah, he's magic. There's a reason why some people are superstars. They have just that something extra, you know? So yeah.
Speaking of that, do you think it's more important to be super talented and be kind of bad to work with, or like being very wholesome and nice and being slightly like less talented than the highest talent? What would you say is more important?
I mean, personally, I like to only work with like good people, with nice
Yes, me
people.
too. I agree.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah,
agree.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. Obviously, I don't have vast experience in this. I'm sure yeah, that some exceptions are made if somebody is that talented. But
Yeah.
honestly, also life is too short to deal with bad behavior. So
Exactly.
personally, yeah, personally, I prefer to have a really good environment and good atmosphere on set. You know, it's your day-to-day life. Like why, you know, it's hard enough as it is. Why deal with added stress because of, you know, somebody doesn't know how to behave
I
or treat
frequent
people?
film sets a lot, and your set, the one day I experienced it anyway, was a very good vibe. I don't know. It's like I felt
Oh,
like a
I'm
good
glad.
vibe. Yeah, I rarely see like
Yeah.
crew laughing, but I saw crew laughing, and it was like very nice. It's a
Oh,
very good
yeah, I
vibe.
think we had yeah, and it's, well, so that's important to me. I mean, I wasn't always a director or a producer. I've been working in the industry for like, I don't know, at least 20 years, and I've done multiple positions from production and script supervision and assistant director. So I've been on the crew a lot and I've experienced
Mhm.
lots of film sets. And for me, it's important to look after, you know, my crew and make sure we have good conditions. I do work really hard to make sure we don't go into like overtime. You know, obviously we do the best we can with every single day. But yeah, it's important to me that, yeah, that, and I think that you have a good set, and I think that also encourages and inspires people to do better work, and I think that translates to the screen as well in a way. So it's for everybody's good. Like, and it's, I want to be on a set like that. So I try my best with my, you know, producers and so on to create that. But I'm glad to hear that that was the impression. Yeah, and
Very
I
good
think people
impression.
enjoyed it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
awesome. Now, this question I have to ask, because this is technically an animation podcast. Any ever had
Yes,
anything
yeah,
to
sure.
ever had anything to do with animation, like in those years?
Oh, myself.
Yes.
I have never worked in animation, so I'm
Okay.
completely irrelevant to your podcast, but I do love animation. I mean, so I grew up, I'm a Disney Renaissance baby, like from The Little Mermaid to
Mhm.
Tarzan is my childhood, and I've seen all of those films about a million times, and now I'm introducing my daughter to them, and I think they are magic. Um, and then obviously a lot of the newer things that have, you know, because I was a child of 2D animation,
Ah,
but obviously I appreciate some of the really amazing, you know, things that came up afterwards, you know, with Pixar, with Toy Stories, and you know now the Inside Outs and so on.
yes.
I think it's some of the best storytelling that exists because you're catering for maybe your toughest audience who are children and also trying to accommodate to their parents and because it's animation, my theory is, and maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it's a far more complicated and time, it takes a lot longer to do. So the
Yes.
story is reworked again and again, and it's storyboarded, and there's a team effort there. So it's really elevated to the best possible version that it can be. And I think that's why you get such great films from animation. So I have a great respect for it. Like, I don't know, maybe I could write something one day, but I have no other experience other than that. But I see there's some nice things happening in Cyprus slowly in that field.
Slowly, yeah, everything, yeah. You said you had no like connection, but your film success is overall like a ripple effect into everything. I feel like everything will like slowly improve, even if you have nothing to do with animation. It will, even anything you say right now is actually positive into everything. That's what my
I hope
opinion is.
so.
Like any kind of success is good success for it. It's like a stock market, right? If something goes
Yeah.
well, like it goes up, right? Stuff like that.
Yeah, we have like I always say we have a proof of concept now. Like often people didn't even know where Cyprus was or that it
There you
existed.
go.
So when you're, I don't know, talking to financiers or investors or other producers, I'm not saying that this is relevant to all projects, but it's at least kind of a mainstream film that you can reference and you can say, oh, we had Find Me Falling, so that it
Exactly.
just always gives people a little confidence when they see that there was a mainstream movie for a big platform like Netflix, and it was all shot here, and it
Okay.
wasn't foreign production, it was homegrown. I mean, really, like more than 90%, more than 95% of the cast and crew and post-production was all done in Cyprus. So it's just proof that we really can deliver, world-class films. Still on a small budget, but that will grow organically.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a good point of reference now that we
Okay.
have.
Can you share the budget
Yeah.
of the film, or is that secret information?
I think I said it was just over 3 million.
3
Yeah.
million. That's crazy good. I know what the budgets are in this country. That's crazy good. Trust me.
No, it was a high budget for
Yes.
Cyprus. Like maybe the highest for a local film,
Yes.
but very low in the international film
Again,
market.
top 10 in the world, #1 for 2 weeks straight. I see film with 200 million, 100 times your budget going below. And there's sequels, by the way. I've seen the top 10
Yeah.
IMDb. I saw Deadpool and Wolverine was like a third sequel of a film. I saw Inside Out 2, again, sequel. I see Bad Boys,
Yeah.
sequel. Twisters,
And those are
sequel.
studios with built-in
Yes.
audience. I mean, the numbers are out of this world. They're much higher. There's cinema releases. I mean, you
Yeah.
can't compare. But yeah, how great to be in such good company. It's incredible. And I've got to say, I mean,
Yeah.
obviously a lot of that is thanks to having Harry on board, because to get anywhere near those lists, you need somebody with that kind of star power to kind of push the
Absolutely. Yeah.
film
Yeah.
forward. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
incredibly important also. But
Yeah.
still, it like
Yeah.
says a message in the world. Like, hey guys, we are a very small island. We have 100 times less of your budget. Yet there we are. There we are. There we are.
Anything is possible. Yeah.
Absolutely. So
Unreal.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
why I'm saying congratulations again. It's insane.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think enough said. Yeah, that was like perfect.
I mean, I'm still, yeah, I don't think, yeah, it'll never quite settle in my brain, but yeah, very, very happy, very happy.
Amazing. So to finish this
Yes.
podcast off, I say this with every guest. Tell me 3 of your favorite films of all time.
Oh, okay. So I was actually asked this question recently. It's my favorite film of all time is The Godfather. So it was nice to hear the
I
reference.
didn't know. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. It's my favorite film.
Part 1,
I love
part
both.
2.
Part 1. I love both, but part 1 is definitely my favorite. I love, there's so many movies, but I love Life is Beautiful, the Roberto Benigni movie. And because I'll throw an older rom-com in, Roman Holiday with Audrey Hepburn, black and white movie. Yeah, I love that as well. So, but yeah, there are a lot. I mean, I could put 7 in that film. I can in that list. I can put Psycho in that list. Yeah, I've got a lot. But
Nice.
Beauty and the Beast is one of those Disney Renaissance films. I have a lot of films that but I guess those would maybe be the top 3 that have moved me the most.
Would you say Beauty and the Beast is your favorite animated film? Beauty and the Beast.
Yes.
Nice.
Also for nostalgic and sentimental reasons, but I think it was a very landmark film. I think it was the first one to ever use CGI in animation. And just there were so many exceptional things about it. It was a character I related to. I loved that she was a bookworm, as a little girl growing up. So I think I love Beauty and the Beast. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, awesome. And
Yeah.
to finish this off, one advice for filmmakers, if you were to say something, one thing.
Oh, wow. So many pieces of advice. Be persistent. Be persistent. Keep going at it. It's very hard. I think about quitting all the time. Or I used to. I'm a lot better off these days. And one thing that helped me was make sure you love the process, because there's no guarantee that you're going to get to this magical end result, whatever it is that, I don't know, you're going to get an Oscar one day, or you're going to get a big cinema release one day. But as long as you're enjoying the process of filmmaking, and it's enriching your life somehow, and you feel like you're fulfilling your purpose, and it's something that you can live off of as well, because we all know it's a hard way of life when you're a filmmaker, especially in a small country. So as long as that whole, it's the journey, not the destination, not to sound cliched, but as long as you're enjoying the process, then that's good, because you don't know if you're going to get to that end result or not. And I think for me, that's always helped me a lot. So I'm, I'm happy and loving my work either way. And then it's just a great bonus when something great like Netflix happens. But it's your day to day that you should be enjoying, I think.
Amazing. That was
I'm
wonderful.
glad. I hope that's helpful, and I wish you the
Incredibly.
best as well, the podcast. No, thank you for
so
having
much.
me.
Thank you so. No problem. This was a very nice piece of educational information to go outside. We have very few of these, so it's good to expand this a little bit. And yeah, thank you for making
Sure.
time for this. It was awesome. Thank you, Stelana.
Thank you, Sava. Thanks so much.